And welcome to my channel. My name is Bianca and I am here with my May wrap up. So all of the books that I read in May. I successfully read 6 books, and if you can hear that noise, it's because I tried to keep the cats out of the room. And if you've got cats, you will know it's nearly impossible to just keep them outside of a room. So I'm sorry, it's just going to have to be in the background because there's nothing I could do about it right now. So let's just get on with the video. So yeah, I successfully read 6 books. Though on top of that, I did DNF a book, and also I made a start on a book before realising it was in the wrong order in a series. So I've put that to one side for now, and I've gone pretty much most of the way through a book, but I'll just I'll make a note of it on this video, but I won't discuss it in length because it will be in my June wrap up, but I will show you that book as well. So let's get into it, shall we? So if you had seen my TBR video, I did a May-June combined TBR video where I chose 10 books which all follow some prompts, and the number generator picked those prompts. I had 56 prompts. I only picked up 10 by the number generator. So how many is that? 5 of those books that I read this month follow the prompts from that TBR number generator challenge. So first of all, one was a book of a holiday, like a holiday cover. I have gone for The Island by Catherine Cooper. So this one is basically a group of influencers and journalists get an invite to this exclusive resort in the Maldives, and when they get cut off from the outside world because there's a massive storm, so nobody can leave this island, things start happening and people start dying, and there is a link with all of the people there, but they're not aware of it, and we don't find out until very late on in the book. It was kind of difficult to try and work out how they were linked, so the author did a really good job there where, you know, it was left for surprise until the author was ready to do the reveal. So I liked that. There was some very tense moments in this. It's kind of like Locked Room Mystery, like with an Agatha Christie like vibe to it, but set in the Maldives. And yeah, I thought it was okay. I gave it 4 stars. It's very short chapters. It's a very quick read. You could just easily get through it quickly. I tell a lie, I gave it 3 stars. I've just remembered. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. There's not, I mean, it's not a book that I'm going to remember forever, basically, let's put it that way. It was an okay book, 3 stars isn't bad for me, but yeah, it is what it is. Then we have a gothic romance. There is a romance in there, so I didn't know that, and it came up on a list for gothic romance, and I was a bit like, okay. I thought it was just a horror, but there is a kind of romance going on there, so I could kind of see that. I wouldn't say it's like full-on romance at all, so probably not what I was looking for this prompt really, but I did enjoy this a lot more this time round. So I did try reading this about 2 or 3 years ago, got about 40 pages in, and it was a DNF, and I was like, ooh, do I pick it up again? Will I appreciate it more now that my reading taste has kind of changed? And I'm glad that I did pick it up again. I did enjoy it a lot more this time round. It was still only a 3 stars for me though. It does have a very slow pace in the middle. So the first 100 pages was spot on, and the last 50 pages was spot on. That whole bit in between, I was just a bit meh. You know, it just wouldn't, like, mind-blowing in my opinion. If you don't know what the story is, it's basically Count Dracula lives in Transylvania and we're following Jonathan Harker. This is all written in like diary entry form and letters and telegrams, that sort of thing, so it's not like your standard novel. So basically this is following Jonathan Harker as he goes over to Transylvania to meet up with Count Dracula to discuss this property that Dracula wants to buy in London. And what I say, he starts to realise there's something not quite right about this Count Dracula. So, yeah. We then also have another prominent character in the story who becomes unwell and has obvious marks on her neck. And we're kind of following, you know, a group of people who basically just want to try and figure out what's going on, and also to stop Dracula, because they start realising that there could be vampires, you know, out there. So there were some moments, like I did tab some bits in here where the writing was, and the descriptions was just stunning, but there was just a lot of drivel in the middle. Then there was a prompt that was had to have child or children in the title, so I went for the Railway Children. Oh, by the way, I gave Dracula 3 stars. I don't know if I said that. So I went for the Railway Children by E. Nesbit. This is following 3 siblings, and they basically start off quite wealthy, I believe. They're quite wealthy. The father gets taken away, and so it's left with a mother and 3 children, and we see them go poor very, very quickly. And they move to a cottage in the countryside which has this railway station nearby, and you just basically follow in the adventures of these 3 children as they go down to the railway station, and they make friends with some of the people at the railway, and particularly an older gentleman that's actually a passenger on the train who goes through each day. Yeah, and they do, you know, have a lot of adventures, and they kind of save a few people, and that's basically following adventures of these 3 siblings. I absolutely loved this. I gave it 5 stars. It's the sort of book which, yeah, I would definitely recommend. It's so short as well that, you know, you might as well just pick it up because it's such a short story. Then we read Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister. This was for the prompt that was an author that you've read before and really enjoyed. I did read One Place, Wrong Time and absolutely loved it. Gave it 5 stars. It was one of my best reads of last year. And so I desperately wanted to pick up this one, which is Just Another Missing Person. This one is following... Well, it's not following Olivia. You have Olivia. She basically is seen on CCTV entering a dead-end alley and then disappears. And we've got Julia, who is the detective on the case, and she can't figure it out at all. She's very confused. There's no way that this missing person could leave this alleyway. So, yeah. There's also, you know, she needs to be careful what she's doing because it's quite close to her own family. We're following it in different perspectives. You've got like a different chapters for a different person. I did enjoy this. I wouldn't say it was my favourite Gillian McAllister book. I gave it 4 stars, so I did enjoy it. It just wasn't as great as, you know, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. And Gillian McAllister does a very good job at creating thrillers which kind of has bits of other elements to it. It's not your bulk standard thriller. You kind of, you know, you've got this proper mystery which is very difficult to solve yourself. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I read this. Really pleased that I read this. And yeah, I thought it was quite good. Then we read Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. I read this both physically and on audiobook whilst I was doing things. So I got through this actually quite a lot quicker than I had first thought. This is basically following 12 people. They're very different people, mainly women, mainly black, living in Britain, and it's basically discussing, like, you know, their, well, how they're living in Britain, and, like, you know, the prejudices that they suffer with, like, from because, you know, they are very much, what's the word, you know, they have to deal with racism and things like that. So there is a lot of triggers in this book which I would definitely recommend having a look into first, because yeah, there are some triggers in this which had me very, very upset. This was for the prompt, had to have like girl, woman or lady on the title, so this was a very good one for that prompt. I absolutely loved this book. There was so much about this book I absolutely loved. The writing does take a while to get used to. And the author has said in an interview since that she was trying to have a play with a different writing style. So it's not like her normal novels. But yeah, this absolutely 100% recommend. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was absolutely superb. So obviously following like a load of different people, like a load of different, they are mainly women. I'm pretty sure. I think there's probably like one bloke. No, it must be women. All women. There are like obviously male characters in here as well. You kind of, there's like split between into categories. You've got 3 per category, and I think there's like 4 categories. So they're all linked somehow. And yeah, I just think it was very superbly done, and it was something that I would definitely recommend people reading. There was a lot of, you know, bits that hit me hard, and I was crying, I'm not gonna lie. I just thought it was absolutely superb. I gave it 5 stars and would definitely recommend. And then a book that didn't actually follow a prompt, but I read anyway, is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I just really needed to get into this. This is a fantasy that I started. I absolutely thought it was superb. I really did. The writing in this is brilliant. We're basically following Fitz, and he gets basically left at this, you know, the wealthy royal family. He's the bastard of one of the, is it the king? I think one of the kings, I believe, or the king to be. And you're basically seeing how he gets the role of being an assassin. And I don't know, I just thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm really glad that I actually ended up actually picking this up. So I gave it 4 stars, and I straight away purchased the next book as well. So I will, yeah, show that the next one in my book haul video coming out soon, because I bought it whilst I was still reading this because I was absolutely loving it. It's a very good book if you love your fantasy. If you are a fantasy person, this is definitely for you. Now, this is where I messed up a little bit. So one of the prompts was having a word in the title that was referenced to reading, and I went with The Book of Life. I thought this was the second book in the trilogy. So Discovery of Witches was first. I thought this was the second book. I started reading it, we got about 120 pages in. I was thinking, this doesn't really seem like it follows on from the first book. What's going on? So I looked into it and realised this is actually the second book. So after 120 pages in, I had to put it to one side. I'm going to come back to this towards the end of June, because they are chunky books. They're all about 640 pages, but I loved the first book. I was really enjoying what I had read so far, the third book. I just was a bit confused. So I'm going to read this at the end of June and basically just, you know, get back into the series in the right order, basically. So there we have it. And then the book that I have started, this was for a prompt as well, which was a female author. I went for The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah, which is a book I've always wanted to read. I'm only about, well, I'm on page 296, and I think I've got about probably 150 pages left of this. I'm absolutely loving this, and I think it's definitely going to be a 5-star read, but I'm going to talk more about this in my wrap up for June. So yeah, that's it. That is my wrap up. So I read a total of, oh god, am I going to be able to pick this up? You see that? These 6 books I read. Had a really good reading month, because I did get, what did I get? 2 5-star reads. 2 5-star reads out of that 6. So that's not bad, and they were all a 3-star and above. So that was really good as well. And obviously did make a start, but put to one side for the time being. I will come back to The Shadow Knights at the end of June, and made good progress into this book, which I'm going to take into June and continue reading. So that is my wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you can, please do subscribe. My videos don't actually get out there as you could tell. I don't go to get many views, but I'm still doing the videos because I just like creating different bits of content, doing reading vlogs, doing, you know, wrap-ups and TBRs, and yeah, trying to do something different as well. I like doing locations, so I got a really good one coming in June as well, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, thank you for watching this video anyway, and hopefully you might want to stick around and watch some more. And I will definitely be back soon with another video. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.